Hello, and welcome to this session of Dungeons & Dragons 5e. We are playing Strixhaven School of Mages, based on the lovely source book that came out just a couple months ago. We are playing with a little bit modified setup, but we're still in Strixhaven, and we're kind of free playing. I've got some stuff, but we're just kind of goofing around and seeing what happens with our characters. Last time, we began with the resurrection of a frog, which was then followed by the frog's ominous words brought from the other side, which everyone thought was I guess because only Fen can understand him. Fen thought were adorable. His speaking of the croaking fane and the shadow that lies beyond.
And he's become so brave as well.
Yes, I fear nothing because I've seen the other side of death. So that happened. And then there was some interaction with NPCs. There was some checking in on clubs and things like that. We got some of the characters from the other houses kind of identified and got ourselves a sense of the character of the other dorms, kind of what they are about a little bit on the table. And we also then had some shenanigans in which, how do I put this best? There were some people who got in trouble, and there were some people who got lost in the woods. And it was an interesting set of interactions. But regardless, at the end, we did the period of study for the classes where you got to, like, do you want to, cheat, or how do you prepare? And then they did the study rolls to test for the different quizzes. So I want to ask you, Matthew, for your character. And that is, let me get all the names up again over here. By the way, if you see me looking off this way, if you're watching this at home, that's me looking at the Roll20 screen over here. So for Talon, you get to choose two different tests that you want to take. And I'll tell you what they are. There is the basic, basic magic class tests on Arcana, the history class tests on history, the Wheel of Magic class tests on insight, the sort of literature and symbology class tests on investigate, and the history of the dark, intro to the dark world class tests on deception. So where are your strengths lie? Which tests would you like to take? You get to have to take two of them.
I think test of insight.
Okay.
Not the test of deception.
Okay.
I forgot what the other two were.
Arcana, history, insight, investigate, or deception.
I think Arcana. What does investigate involve again?
I believe that's a wisdom-based one.
Oh yeah, sorry, but like the field, is that like?
Oh, so that's that class that is about symbology and sort of the like notation and stuff. It's the one that's taught by your Inkmancer.
Yeah, I think I want to take that.
Okay.
So investigate and insight.
Yes. So let's have you roll for your class on the different colors of magic, and you will make an insight roll.
An insight roll. All right. Insight. How does one roll insight?
Okay. So
I did it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that did not go so hot.
Yeah.
DC is a 12. So I think that is the one that is taught by the very, very enthusiastic hobbit mage, and she will talk to you, immediately after the test. Is like, feel like maybe you're kind of not keeping up. I wonder if there's anything that we can do. Is there anything we can help you with? Like, I'd really like for you to really rise up. I think you could do better on the next test. Do you think you can do better on the next test?
Like Talon is like completely like contrite and embarrassed to have not done well, and so she's sort of like looking away, embarrassed when that disappointment registers with him.
Oh, okay. We'll work on that. It'll be fine. I'm sure you'll do better on your next test. And so then for the other test, let's have you roll investigate.
All right. That's not good, right?
That is below passing.
Wow, story of my week.
So I think you are called into the provost's office. Eos Deklos comes to talk to you and says, Eos Deklos has seen your report card from the recent round of testing. Eos Deklos is concerned about Talon's performance. Should Eos Deklos be concerned?
Sorry, you were speaking in character, I realized, when you did third person.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. Okay, sorry. Talon, like Talon's embarrassed and like makes zero attempt to make any excuses, and says like, he knows he can do better. He should do better. He shall do better. Like the pitch of the conversation, and it escalates quickly from embarrassment to sort of like confidence, like basically, in order to endure this, to survive this sort of like scrutiny, like he psychs himself up that he can do better.
Absolutely. Eos Deklos has decided that you will, since you only have one extracurricular, you have a little bit more time. Eos Deklos will be setting up a little study group for you and some of the other students who have perhaps not lived up to their potential. Is that okay with you?
That sounds excellent, sir. I'm sure, I have much to learn from others, even those who do us, as who are faring as poorly or disappointingly as I am. We all learn from each other's mistakes, after all.
Eos Deklos is taken by your words and will endeavor to make it so that you will find the right direction to go in. There's two meta things that I want to mention here before we go too much further. One is that during the course of their sort of trials last time, the PCs also discovered that they haven't seen any second years the entire time that they've been here. Like very oddly, and they've only just now realized that. So I just wanted to remind folks about that. But right now,
but they're third years, right?
Yeah, there are third years,
and there are professors who lecture to empty rooms of there's no second years in there.
Wait, what? So the second years are MIA, but the sophomore classes are still being held.
At least one class is still being held despite the absence.
That's hilarious and awful.
Yeah.
But I'm sure there's nothing nefarious involved with that. But as I was saying, last time, Fonzie went to some effort to speak to some other students. Now, Fonzie did very well on his exams. The group of students that he was able to bring in under his auspices for his party. Maybe not the most socially dominant students amongst the different dorms. But we are here just a few hours before this party is supposed to happen. And where we kind of left off last time was with the group deciding how they wanted to get ready for this party, what they wanted to do, and what was going to happen there. But starting with Fonzie informing the other PCs that in fact a party was about to happen. Fonzie, would you like to tell us like how you are handling that? The others are perhaps a little bit down from their performances on the tests.
Yeah, I think that we're walking back toward our dormitory, and they're down, perhaps talking about how, after their disappointing test results, they really just want to like have a quiet night to study and reflect. Like, oh, that reminds me. And then we hear just an explosion from over at our dorm, and we shift our attention over there and we see fireworks going off. And the beginning of loud music that's being astrally drawn in. Like we've developed some kind of portal to a world of like dubstep that just starts to echo across the green.
I do think that as you approach, there is that feeling when like you're the first people to arrive at a party because the music is on and like there's a little bit of fireworks going on, but it's clear like only people from your hall are here so far.
I think that's what I'm hoping is going on, and that this isn't really just like, this is it. I'm nervous. It might just be it.
So Fen, Talon, how are you reacting to this surprise? Fen, are you excited by this, interested in this? How are you feeling at this moment?
I'm sorry, did you say that
Fen?
We're having a party?
A little party. It's to celebrate. Exams are over. And I invited some people from some other dorms. Lot is bartending.
Why do I think I can hear Mechanus like resonating from?
Can't have a party without music.
DJ Mechanus. I think is the party already ongoing basically?
No, I think it's just starting.
Like you go in and there are your dorm mates are there and maybe one or two other people. And there's that kind of awkward standing around that happens in the first period of a party.
But it's definitely too loud to hear anybody else without shouting at them.
So this isn't too bad, Fonzie. It's actually kind of chill, kind of low key. Why is it so loud?
I mean, it's small. We need to let people know that the party is started so that they know where to come.
What?
We need to let people know by the music that they can hear that the party has started so that they can come.
Okay.
So that they can come.
Got it.
Yeah.
And there's dancing? Is that why we do this?
Well, somebody's got to start the dancing. Do you want to dance?
I think
everyone turns to Talon. I turn to Talon.
Oh my God, Talon's like looking down with his hands and like like trying to study and like make a plan for studying. He isn't so far gone that he's studying, but make a plan and like is jotting down like his approach to like how he's going to study. But I think when when Fonzie comes in to like invite everyone, I think the first thing Talon checks is to see like he goes like if he starts flipping through his calendar and trying to remember like whether he had a study group scheduled today or tomorrow or whatever.
Not yet. This is just after the exams.
I think there's like panic on Talon's face on the idea of like this much noise and this much, and he turns around. He's like, I don't know, I've never been to anything so loud in my life, and he's saying that like trying to yell over the sounds.
Relax.
You might not even hear him.
It's all gonna be great. Lot. What's your house special tonight?
Lot says, well, it's a fruit juice.
We'll get 3.
Okay. And he will prepare. I think as you're saying there, the house itself, remember, is held together by magic. So there is this
Barely.
thing like almost cartoonish that when the beats from Makana's hit,
Split.
the house like does that thing. But I think like across the way, another quadrant of the campus, you will see a brilliant set of lights start to appear. Someone has clearly hired some Prismari 3rd and 4th years to do a brilliant display, and it looks like the house Malbrecht
Grayson.
party is starting, the one that everybody who was anybody was heading to.
I think Fen is starting to feel the beat and feel like there's some primal energy happening with this.
Okay.
And is going to be the first one on the dance floor.
And what does the dance style of your people look like, do you think?
I think, wow, giants dancing. Let's imagine that for a second. I think it starts like just at the feet, right? So you've got like a fairly
Oh, you might cut out.
Yep.
Strong structure with just the feet cut up and down. The whole body structure like loosens up as Fen starts to like absorb the different beats and really trying to just express the sound that is heard with different regions. And I think it looks a little bit spastic, but definitely on beat.
All right, I'm very curious about this. Why don't you make a performance roll?
All right. See how spastic it really is.
Yes. Alternately acrobatics. But I don't think that's a strong point for you.
Yeah, checking it out right now. Yep, acrobatics not so great.
Okay.
Performance?
Yeah.
Performance is good.
Okay. So 15. So you look quite good. Like people, other people will join you on the dance floor. That's that kind of magnet when you've got somebody who kind of, kind of doesn't care, and you'll draw a few other people out there. Who do you think? Like, is it a known NPC that we've got like in our NPC list, or somebody else?
I would like to think that who is my dwarf friend from the lifters?
Oh yeah, you mean Greta.
Greta. I would like to think that Greta is like sitting on the sidelines and I just whisk her in and start dancing with her. And I don't know if she likes it or not. You'll have to fill me in on that detail.
I think with a 15, she's into it. She just likes physical activity.
Yeah.
And so she is very much into it. Talon, Well, what do we see of you in this party scene? What are you doing? Some people are dancing, other people are talking, a couple more NPCs, students who probably didn't get invited to the big party, who've come here, kind of wandered in. What do we see of you?
I think what Talon first does is um he just sort of like stands awkwardly by the counter, picking at the snacks, but then after all, he just gets kind of bored with it, and
Come on.
yeah, and you know, joins in on the dance floor.
And what is the dance of the owlin look like?
I don't know if there's the dance of the Allen, but it's definitely Talon's dance.
Okay.
Talon's dance is like, it's kind of like if you look if you look up birds dancing, they can sort
Mhm.
of like swoop their wings over their heads, sort of like, and it kind of looks comical. If it would look comical if Talon was an actual bird,
Mhm.
which he is not, because he actually has like, legs and all sorts of other like upright anatomy. So he is able to time the movements of his arms and his wings to go in perfect sync with his legs, and sort of like able to do some handstands and and swoops,
Nice.
that swoops and flips.
I like the swoops. I was hoping that you'd fly a little bit as part of the dance.
Let's have you roll performance, Talon.
All right. All right. Let's see, performance.
Yeah, you've got this. Yeah, 14. That's solid. You look good on the dance floor. So yeah, so a couple more students arrive in. It is, thank goodness, not a disaster, Fonzie. It started out a little cold, but it's kind of thawing. You've got your friends out there. Dance floor.
I owe a lot to Talon and Fen for keeping this together.
Okay. So what are you doing? Talking to somebody that's arrived? Are you dancing? Are you doing something else? What do you think?
Yeah, I think I'm gonna hit the floor and I'm gonna pull along Hammer of the Lark
Okay.
from our class. And we have rehearsed a hand jive.
Okay.
Hand jive? You say hand jive?
A hand jive. I think of I think there's a hand jive competition in Greece, but it's like elaborate hand-based dance, like nothing with your feet.
Okay.
It's just like coordinated, a lot of claps, a lot of like linking fingers. And you're probably, if the roll goes off well, you're probably wondering where I ever found time to study
Right.
for like the exam.
Let's have you roll your performance roll.
Hey.
Look,
It goes
see,
quite well.
here are the things that really don't affect your academic career. Everyone is knocking it out of the park. So yeah, it looks great. Like you are dynamite at this. You have, it's a little bit of your sleight of hand. Plus, you've thought about the performance. You've done some choreography for it. You know that, in fact, Hammer of the Lark belongs to the dance club. It's more ballroom dancing, but it's still
It's transferable
in there. Yeah. Those skills between things. So yeah, it's going.
Ooh. I would like to cast Druidcraft while we're doing this.
Okay.
To create a golden orb in the sky that is just gonna like shine down through those boards that are doing the wobble.
Okay.
And create kind of like a disco ball effect coming from above the building.
I think that's perfect. It will. I don't think there's any roll necessary. I think that will blossom through. I think that will kick up the energy here. So like the party goes on a bit. Some more people come, some more people go. Food. You will realize, Fonzie, that in fact, a lot is not serving anything that is intoxicating or inebriating. It is very chill, and you're a little surprised by that. But Fen, like, what's a scene that you would like to have a little bit later in the party? Somebody you want to talk with, a thing you want to do. You've got that dance floor going on.
Yeah, pass me and come back if you would. I need
Okay.
a second to think about that.
Sure. Talon, what about for you? Like, who are you talking with? What are you doing? Is there any NPCs? And I'll put the we grab the thing with the NPC pictures again for everybody. I'll drop that in the Zoom chat. Like once you've been on the dance floor and you've done well, where do we see you later in the party?
Sorry, did you say where do we see you, Talon, later in the party?
Yeah, Talon. Yeah.
Sorry, I thought you
That's
were
okay.
directly at the fan. I think at that point, Talon's worked up a sweat, so he goes to like the lounge, to an area where he can lounge and sort of like hang out with the other kids by, like the couch or the lounge chairs, preferably lounge chairs actually, because they will be outside, I guess, patio and drink.
Yeah, it's probably out back past where Fen has kind of opened up the back half of this out into the little sort of garden that's back there.
And thanks to my druid craft, it's kind of like daytime out right now. There's this golden orb in the sky that is casting light down, just to point that out.
And
Nice.
I'll add a bit of color. I think that we have like a designated spot that we have a modified cone of silence. That's not like a complete, but it's blocking out the pounding music. So it is an area that you can have a regular conversation at.
I imagine many states or cities would, tolerate university towns more if they had custom
Yes.
cones of silence. I hear a quick yes from Lowell, so I'm going to presume he's lived near a university town.
I am 3-4 blocks away from the University of Notre Dame, and there are college students that are in the rental house right next to ours. That has only just started the last couple of years before it was actually owned by someone. So yes, I am very aware of what kind of noise can be made.
And all the types of noises.
Yes. So like when you're sitting there relaxing, Talon, is there a particular NPC that we've established already? Or do you want me to just throw somebody out there for you?
Yeah.
What would you like?
I think just throw some I'm feeling very improvisational today.
Okay. I think you will. Let me grab somebody.
I say that, then he throws me a curveball.
I'm going to grab one of the established NPCs from the book. Hang on one second. Let me do this. Format merge cells and insert image. I do this because they have their names already on them, so I don't have to come up with a new name. Fantasy.
Maybe a latte.
Here I've got that, and then
Lottie's the alchemist stoner.
Lottie is the guy tending bar right now with the
he got work.
fruit drinks there. Why don't we put here's a person we haven't seen yet.
Zaramar Dorm. Oh, she doesn't have any.
You will see Ursmatok. He is there. He's in F 78 on our sheet there.
F7.
Uh,
Ah.
he is an orc. And let's see. You throw me a D4.
Oh yeah, D4. I'm an idiot.
Okay.
There we go. 4.
4. So you will know that Urzmatok is from Thorns. That's the dorm that he is from. They are the group that you have your arcane terminology class with. So, in fact, one of the ones where you did not have as great a result. But he's sitting there. He clearly been sitting out here for a while. In fact, you're not even sure if you saw him out on the dance floor, and he'll kind of look up and maybe is a little like defensive. Talon.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Good party.
Indeed. How come I don't? When will we get to see your moves on the floor?
I am not built for the dancing. It is not in my skill set. Let's just say that.
I can respect that, but certainly you must have some reason to be here, something that you genuinely enjoy or appreciate. Are you a kind of standing with the drinks person, or you just looking to companionship or of some sort?
I was not invited to the other party, and since there was this party, and since Fonzie had extended the invitation broadly, I decided to be here rather than sitting around in my dorm this evening. That doesn't seem weird, does it?
No. It's not weird at all. I mean, these years they always say that these years are very precious, and no one wants to be the guy who says, or at least that's what I hear. No one wants to be the guy that spent all their college years, in their room knowing no one. That's what I heard. Is popular wisdom.
Yes. I suppose that's probably true. Yes.
But it's just I'm very curious. If you elect to not be in your dorm, and you definitely want to go to a party, surely there's something that interests you around here that is not dancing. Or are you just here to watch people embarrass themselves? That can be entertaining. I'm still waiting for the don't tell anyone, but I'm waiting for someone to mix drinking and dancing, and those kinds of face plants were always excellent during my family reunions.
I was raised in a very directed household, very regimented, and so I'm having a very hard time here. So I'm still trying to figure out like what I should be doing at any particular time.
And where have your thoughts led you? What is the starting point of this inquiry? And you can tell, like Talon's gone, like is now going into getting philosophical, and starts, reaching for his drink more. Maybe even like whoever is passing the duchy on the left hand side, Talon has queued up for.
So do you think there are hookahs or something of that sort here?
Yeah, nothing too strong.
All right. Yeah. He will say, I honestly don't know. And you can tell it like he doesn't like to say that. Like clearly it's not like to admit. that he doesn't know. We'll come back to the two of you in a minute. Fonzie, what about for you?
Oh, I wanted to have a scene with Talon.
Well, we
I could
can
still do that.
Yeah, you
right?
can still do that. You can either interrupt that, or we can cut to a little bit later.
Yeah. Let me interrupt it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you can
so-
see that Urzmatok is kind of having a real like life crisis moment when Fonzie pops up.
Hey, say, Talon, I was looking for you. Urzma talk. Thanks for making it to the party.
I am glad for the invitation.
Can I have a minute with my housemate?
Yes, I will leave. And he will
No,
get
no.
up and walk elsewhere.
And Talon's awkward because he also starts getting up too. Just
Talon,
like-
sit down. Sit down. I wanted to catch up with you. I feel bad about, like, I'm glad that everyone's having a good time, but like I probably should have told you and Fen, and like Wolfie I haven't even seen. He might just not be much for parties. But it's rough with how finals went. I want to see if there's anything that I can do to help maybe as you get ready for retakes, anything like that. I have a tutor I could recommend if you're interested. Like I don't want to push anything out there that you don't want, but I know somebody who's very good and who knows the school very well and might be helpful.
Yeah, I appreciate the offer. I
I
think
reach into my bag and I pull out a human skull and offer it. This is my Uncle Mortimer. He's a genius.
and
just-
Talon
just
looks at you
until-
slightly like you're mad. Like head cocked sideways. and all
Just
that.
until retakes, you just set him next to your pillow. And it's like osmosis. He can repeat any of the lectures. He's been with the school a long time.
I see. Your uncle must be very important to you for you to keep him close by.
He's like, he is my mentor. Everything I know, I owe to him. And I want you to have the opportunity to glean from his knowledge. He said that he thinks it'd be a great idea.
I'm yeah. Sure. I'm so honored that you entrust me with the presence of your uncle, and Talon like reaches out and accepts the skull.
And you hear in your
Be gentle with
head,
him.
you hear in your head, now you must swear to tell no one of me unless I give you permission.
It's okay. He gave me permission to tell you.
I did.
Anyway, good luck with the retakes. And I leave.
I have such sights to show you, Talon. We'll come back to you. Fen, I like there is that moment when you're kind of finish up and you hear a
Oh, Rampart.
that was an adequate display of physical coordination.
Thanks. I thought I did quite well as well.
I didn't say you did quite well.
Okay.
I am saying that you seem to have a strong sense of your ability to dance. Perhaps you would like to put that to the test.
Are you saying that you can dance better than I can? Is that?
That is both the implication and what I am saying directly.
I accept your challenge.
Ah, good. And here he goes, and you see him sit big guy, sits down in a chair, and you see him take off his shoes, and you see him pull out these beautifully fitted slippers that he will
Oh,
put on
nice.
his feet. Very carefully puts them on, and everyone will need to move back while the two of us throw down. All right. So, Fen, are you doing anything to boost your ability here?
I am going to disguise self. I would
Ooh.
like to look exactly like he does as I begin my dance performance.
All right.
And then explode into Fen for the finale.
Okay. I tell you what, I will give you advantage on that roll for that use of that spell. So go ahead and roll performance, and then I will roll for him.
Ooh. Roll bad, roll bad, roll bad.
Now, you succeeded on one of your two tests. So the other fact of having a success on that is you do have a point of inspiration right now. You could spend that if you wanted to re-roll.
This is one of the most important things that Fen will ever do.
Absolutely.
Performance. Oh yeah.
Oh,
that's worth it.
That's a 16. Okay.
Yeah.
I am going to roll for Badoom. Oh!
I think people are like, yeah, Rampart's doing really good. And then like the illusion is lifted and they're like, oh my gosh, that was Fen the whole time.
And that's the thing where he comes out of the dance floor and you are now like, once you've changed back, he's doing that face off kind of dance, but you've clearly thrown him off his game.
Yeah.
What is the like the crucial, humbling, fumbling mistake that he makes?
I think it starts like him and Fen face to face. Like I do a move, then he does a counter move, kind of dueling banjo, except it's dancing style. And then like right as you get into the heat of the dance battle, that's when he realizes that he's like staring into a mirror or something. And I like mirror his movements precisely. And then I'm able to just move a leg ever so slightly, cause him to trip as he falls. That's when I do like a pirouette / reveal.
Absolutely. He's a big guy, so when he falls, he
man.
falls like a tree in the forest, crashing down. I think there is that like there's a gasp. And he's like, oh, and he will,
before he can speak, I bow deeply to him and say, excellent dance battle, and stand up and walk over to the bar.
Let's see. Let me ask you this. Do you think this dance battle brings you closer together? Or does this make
I think I'm developing a frenemy at this very moment.
All right. Yeah. So it's that there is a bond. He's not going to be your rival, but he is like he wants to have that competition.
This is you keep your friends close and your enemies closer.
Okay.
He is going to be a rival that you hug at parties and you smile and tell the best stories and you try to slit each other's throat through words and manner.
He picks himself up and acts as if everything is fine. And it was a humorous aside and so on, and brushes himself and we'll make a big show of going over to the bar and congratulating you and yes, a toast to you, my friend.
Why, thank you. You started very strong. excellent opening moves.
Your words mean much to me.
Anytime you wish to try again, you know where I am.
I
And
do. I do know where you sleep.
I will be like cut him off mid-sentence and just start walking away out to the dome of silence / quiet zone.
Camera lingers on him for a while. That nose curls up angrily.
Yes.
So Talon, you have the skull of Fonzie's dead uncle, great uncle, great uncle,
His great
great uncle, and it is communicating with you. What do you say to it?
I mean, I think the way Talon would approach this at this very moment is he waits for more. It's Mortimer who has to initiate the conversation. As far as Talon is concerned, he's trying to. When Mortimer's voice is absent, he pretends he's not there.
Do you agree? Do you agree not to tell another? If not, simply hand me back to my great nephew.
No, I won't tell anyone about you. I mean, except, I suppose like if ever I had to talk, I can always talk to Fonzie.
Absolutely. He has my utmost trust. What can I help you with? I understand that you did not live up to your potential on the tests.
I just I was a disappointment. I didn't do so well this week.
Well, I can help you with that. As my great nephew said, just simply set me beside your bedside table and I can, in your sleep, provide you with a wealth of information and thoughts and philosophies to help you.
That's pretty nice, but why? What would you gain from this? I mean, is there anything I can do for you?
Oh, I'm sure we'll come to that, but for the moment, you are my great nephew's friend, and by helping you, I help him, right?
Fair.
And perhaps at some point, I can do more for you. I can teach you new ways of magic, perhaps.
Ooh.
I sense in you the blood of dragons, do I not?
It's true. I don't really like to talk about it much, but it's true.
I understand you want to keep those strings hidden away to protect them. But by doing that, you bridle and hide your own true power. I can help you.
I appreciate. I would like your help, good sir.
Good. Then the bargain it is made. Fozzie, what are you up to now that you've handed off your uncle's skull to your friend?
I think that it cannot be left to stand that House Malbrecht is hosting a more popular party than ours.
Significantly more popular than yours.
And I think I want to talk around, the guests who are still here and see if I can recruit a few people who are eager for a bit of a friendly sabotage.
Fen seems
is
up for it. He's still coming off the glow of having trashed his rival on the dance floor.
So I think we cross paths as Fen is headed toward the Cone of Silence. and I'm coming back from giving Talon the skull.
It's like,
I
hey,
say, Ben,
Fonzie,
uh,
great idea with the party. I wouldn't have
thank you.
thought of it myself. Best night ever.
Yeah, I have an even better idea, my good tree friend.
Hmm.
What if there was no party on campus that could compete? Al, I know what
I
you're
don't
saying.
think there is a party
There
on
is no
campus
party that could
that can
compete.
compete.
Exactly. But I think there's one that thinks that it can. That's House Melbrecht, and that will not stand. I didn't intend, did that even rhyme? It
I
was
think it
really
did.
close.
Really close.
Yeah, I don't think it was a true rhyme.
Melbrand stand. So close.
Very close. I'll keep on working on that.
Keep working on that. You'll get it.
But yeah, I think just to make sure that we can keep this party going at full strength, we need to borrow some energy from them. You head to the right, I'll head to the left. Let's meet back here in 10. See how many people we can get that are willing to head over there for some mischief.
All right. So we're going to assume that you're going to rope Talon in on this, if that's okay.
We definitely invite him.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what we'll do is we'll take our break here. When we come back, I'll have each of you choose an NPC. So there's a total of 6 of you that will head over to attempt to sabotage the other party. So let's take 10 minutes and then we'll come back and continue on. Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
Oh, Murray.
Murray, yes.
I remember when we did Planescape. One of the PCs got one of the Mimir skulls as an NPC, and they would ask it stuff, and it would go, "I don't know, I'm a skull." Let's have each of you pick out an NPC that is going to accompany you, put themselves at risk for this particular adventure. So, Fonzie, who is your pick for someone? And it can be an established NPC that we've got on the table from there, or it can be someone new if you want to come up with somebody new.
So I can't decide between 2 that I'm drawn to for
Okay.
this. So we don't know D-Mal very well, but she looks like she'd be up for some mischief.
Okay.
But I think this could be also really funny for Rosie to take as like a LARP challenge.
Interesting. That's a possibility. Let's find what the others have chosen, and then maybe that will help you.
Yeah.
Choose yours. Fen, who do you want to take along with you?
What do you think about the idea of me conversing with a small swarm of winged squirrels and convincing them to join us as a NPC?
Small swarm of winged squirrels. I would say let's have you make that nature roll.
Okay. I will befriend them first
Okay.
because I have spells for that.
Does that give you advantage on the roll or a bonus?
Let us see. Animal friendship. The spell lets you convince a beast that you mean no harm. Choose a beast that you can see within range. It must see and hear you. If the beast's intelligence is 4 or higher, the spell fails. Otherwise, they must succeed a wisdom saving throw or be charmed.
Okay.
For 24 hours.
All right. So they just need to make a saving throw then.
Yep.
Okay. So what is the DC on that?
DC 13.
Oh, well, they rolled a 5.
Perfect.
So
come on, my
squirrels.
friends. We've been hanging out for a long time.
Do you will gather a group of winged squirrels?
We can go a little bit crazier at this next party.
They don't know what a party is, but they're following along with you, and they're very okay. Okay. Talon, who are you roping into this?
see. Well, I I think I want to drag in. Maybe Atlantis. I'm not sure if he's up for that kind of stuff.
He's always like, yeah, this stuff is, yeah, if we're gonna break something, I'll go. Absolutely. Yeah. Hate this place.
I like that guy. I like that guy a lot.
Yeah, I just want to be sure I had a right read on that whole aggressive
Oh
personality.
yeah. He's a badass. He's a bad boy.
And I think I have settled on DMAL
Okay.
as who I drag in. And I think that like I barely get out, like we're thinking of doing a prank on Malbright. I think she just starts giggling. And like can't stop busting up laughing the whole time over.
Yeah, she's like, I got this. Got this. So it's a nicer dorm than you have. So some of you have been to the other dorms before. Lots of students from the other dorms. Everybody's dressed up nicely. They've got lovely light works and such that are going off. Someone has paid for catering, so the food is nice. It's all very well laid out. So tell me, what is your intent here, Fonzie? Since you're kind of leading this pack, is this a group effort, or shall we kind of see what each team is doing? How do we want to read this? What do you feel like?
I think because Fonzie's catchphrase is, I haven't thought that far ahead. I think it's going to be 3 separate little miniature pranks.
Okay.
Rather than one big collective one.
Okay. And what's the gist here?
So the gist of Fonzie's like mission 1 is getting inside.
Okay. Not hard at all. There's just so many people here. It's so popular, they can't track everyone.
Okay. So they don't even have like a bouncer out to be like, hold on a second.
Nope.
You're from Animal House. Get out of here.
No, they seem to just think that nobody would be so rude or gauche as to come to a party that they weren't invited to.
Yeah. Who possibly would be?
Absolutely.
All right. So I think on Fonzie's side, and how well this goes, it depends on a lot of things. It might depend on how eager Lot is to offer anything illicit. I think perhaps Fonzie just went down to Lot's laboratory.
Okay.
And picked up a couple of random things to spike the punch here with.
Okay. So that's the goal here, is to cause disruption to the beverage service.
That's Fonzie's goal.
Okay. All right. Good. So what I'm kind of doing is kind of figuring out what people are doing, so I can kind of figure out like what's the role we go to, or what's the move we're kind of doing here. Fen, what is it that you want to do with these flying squirrels?
I want to stand on the sideline and kind of wait for the first disruption and then yell out, now, grab all the hors d'oeuvres, grab now, bring them back to our house.
So stealing the food with a gaggle of winged squirrels.
And I've got to imagine there's some statue or water feature or something that is inhumanly large. And Fen is going to enlarge himself and grab that and run out as the squirrels distract with the hors d'oeuvres.
Okay. And Talon, you're not necessarily made for mischief, but I'm sure you can come up with something. So what is it that Talon is doing to disrupt?
I tried to think of the nerdiest or dorkiest thing I could come up with that fits as a prank. And I'm thinking, like, I don't know if this is within the scope of the spell, but I want to use mending or some sort of other spell so that Talon and Atlantis will go around and mend all the toilets and all these sinks so that they're unusable. So that when people need to really throw up or I don't know, relieve themselves, there's nothing.
I think that the Mortimer the Skull can show you how to do the mending spell backwards.
Oh.
If you would allow him to teach you just a few little words to add to your spell.
Oh yeah, this is practice. This is expanding the scope of what is traditionally known as magic.
Absolutely, absolutely. So,
applied, you know.
Okay, so I think that Talon, this is going to be an Arcana roll for you to do this, to see the scope, whether you're caught, whether there are problems that occur. So let's have you roll Arcana.
Gonna roll that Arcana. It's a 16.
That's a quite good roll. I think you will go around and you'll be able to sabotage the, at least temporarily, the facilities here scattered throughout this beautiful hall. And you will absolutely get those set. Yours is sort of a thing that will fall out here soon. Fonzie, let us have you roll, first of all, a d20, just a flat d20.
Okay. 19.
And then would you please roll me your sleight of hand?
Okay, and I think I'm doing this via an unseen servant. And
if you're doing that, then it'd be Arcana.
Okay, yeah, I'll go with an Arcana roll.
Okay.
And my verbal component, there's a snap of the fingers for somatic component. I see Jeeves, and that summons my unseen servant.
Okay.
Personally, I would have gone with Wentworth as a butler.
Wentworth.
So I think that you will get this set. So I have a question for you. Are you more interested in having this go off, but you're willing to suffer some side effects? Or you're not cool with that and you'd rather just have it miss?
I'm intrigued by the side effects.
Okay.
I was okay with it missing, but I want to know what the side effects are, so let's go with it.
So I think this unseen servant takes it and it kind of pops open this thing, and you will get kind of a little bit of a face full of some of this stuff. And you'll see the unseen servant go off, and there'll be the as it dribbles it across the food. And it's at that point that you hear this rumbling from your stomach, and you feel something shift down below.
I think I better find a toilet.
And you will go running, searching, but you've been here before, so you will go to one of the toilets there, and you are just in time, let us say. But the lid of the toilet won't come up. It won't come up at all. It just won't.
This is the worst remodeling ever. Gosh, I hate this house.
We'll come back to you in just 1 second. So there's a moment when you're kind of waiting there. And there's this kind of wave of noise and reaction across the group, and maybe you even hear the synchronized rumbling of guts across this. And then you start to see people move in various directions into different parts of the house. And that's the point at probably which the screaming begins.
That's our cue. Grab the hors d'oeuvres.
Let's have you roll your nature roll here.
Mm-hmm. 18.
Absolutely. We'll get all of the food and stuff and water. You can run over and grab the water feature as people are absolutely distracted, and you can haul that back.
And so I was like, what did we say? 1.5 times or 2 times the size of your normal student.
Yeah.
And when I enlarge, I think that I double my size in every direction.
Barely able to fit inside this place.
And so it's like just a one-arm grab like a football and run out the front of the building.
Absolutely. And
possibly having to widen the entryway on my way through.
Crash as you go out. The squirrels with a little napkin satchels of food are flying back. Talon, something has happened, and you see like all these students and stuff start running for the facilities, and it does not sound good, let us say. Fonzie, there is that pounding on the door. There are people at the door. They're pounding on it. Let us in. Let us occupied. In. Let us in.
Oh, it's no use. There's no hope for us all.
How do you want to handle this, Fonzie?
This is a nice dorm building. There's probably a window, right?
Yeah, probably.
Okay. Yeah. First I'll throw up out the window, and then I'm going to try to climb out of it.
Okay. Fonzie, let us have you roll an athletics check here.
Okay. I do take a moment to cast my spell to grant me proficiency in athletics.
That's good.
Yeah.
That is a good call, because that is not your strong suit.
Okay, athletics. So that turns into a 13.
That turns into a 13.
Oh wait, sorry. No, that's that'll be a 14. I apologize.
14. You will get this window open and you'll pull yourself out. And I imagine you look around and you see the nearest building that you know will have facilities, and you're in a dead hot sprint to get to there before anything more permanently damaging to your clothing occurs. And I think as you're getting out that window, you'll hear this cracking of the lock give on that door and people rushing in, and then more wailing as they try to get the toilets readied, and they cannot.
And I flip double fingers as I drop out, say, "Dark school, bitches."
Do you sign your work that way?
I do now.
Okay. So yeah, I do think you hear that shouted across the quad. But I think it's also the fact that people saw Fen rush in and steal all of the food there.
And I'm planting that water feature in our front yard. So.
Absolutely. And Talon, I imagine that you cheese it as well.
Yeah, I cheese it, and I make no attempt to sign my work. I'm just like, but there's a bit of Talon just going.
So let's cut forward to the next morning in the provost's office.
What?
With the 5 of you.
What?
You mean the dozen squirrels, right?
The squirrels will be taken to their own particular judgment and punishment, given that they are they're not a vermin, but they are a feature of the school.
Hmm. Okay.
I hope there's a squirrel hearing.
Eos Deklos wonders if there's anything that you have to say by way of explanation or excuse for your destructive behavior towards your classmates and towards the property of Strixhaven?
I mean, Eos Deckless, I think, first of all, I have to say how disappointed I am in Malbrecht dorm that they would conduct a false flag operation like this to point fingers at us when we were just trying to enjoy a calm post-exam party. You can ask any of the guests that we had at our dorm. We were hosting a party that night.
Fen is like eyes to the ground, feet shuffling a little too much of a hunch. Not saying a word.
Eos Deklos wonders if Alphonse remembers that this is a school of sorcery and that we have access to oracles and scrying and all of those sorts of tools.
It is possible I may have forgotten that.
Eos Deklos highly suspects that that is the case.
I think Talon
Well,
doubles down and just goes like,
the other possibility is that Grayson Wildemir is a far more talented. No, I can't do it.
I'm sorry,
Sorry.
no,
You know,
that is exactly the line that Talon was actually. It's like, you know, I mean, let me know if my facts are correct out of character, but like, you know, as far as Talon presents it to Eos Nicholas, perhaps perhaps Malbrecht's reputation definitely does precede itself, and you know, surely if they were to conduct a false flag operation, then someone, you know, would have been able to get around a scrying of some sorts. Such trickery would be beyond Fonzie and the rest of us, seeing as we are freshmen and all.
As are most of the people in the Malbrecht dorm. So, here is the thing. Eos Deklos is furious right now. But Eos Deklos is going to keep Eos Deklos' temper in check.
Thank you, Eos Deckless.
You will write a letter of apology. And when Eos Deklos casts detect sarcasm on the letter, Eos Deklos had better not detect any. And then you will all be spending a week in the detention bog.
Can't we just spend 2 weeks and not write the letter?
Oh yeah, the bog's wonderful. We should go there now.
Sorry,
Or after the letter.
a sincere letter. without sarcasm.
We can
Written
write
by
the
myself.
we can write at the bog. We don't have to wait to go to the bog.
I just want to make it clear. He lets that hang there. That this will be on your permanent record and sent to the masters of each of the houses, and turns to you, Fen, including, of course, Witherbloom.
It's okay, Fen. Somewhere has to accept us.
Oh my god. I should not have gotten talked into this.
Eosteklos wonders if you thought this through all the way, Fen.
I really wasn't thinking. I can
Attaboy.
definitely write a sincere apology.
Eosteklos will include that letter of apology along with your permanent record mark, such that if you are truly penitent, your future instructors potentially will see that. Eosteklos does not know what else to say, except how disappointed Eosteklos is.
Thank you, Eosteklos.
Eosteklos has convinced your mother, Fonzie, not to have you withdrawn and expelled.
Thank you, Eosteklos.
Understand that you are on thin ice. The spell that was used to seal the toilets?
Denem?
Who
Talon
cast,
narrows his eyes at Fonzie. To like
who cast
ixnay on
that?
the Nemne.
Any of you wish to take credit for that? All right. Well,
Talon
yes. Did you have something to say, Master Ferric?
Talon's trying to keep himself like as low profile as possible through the rest of this.
There is a Witherbloom Proctor outside waiting, who will take the 5 of you to the bog. And you will head outside, and you will see there is a druid there who looks and says, all right, you 5. Oh, you're gonna have a problem, aren't you there, Feather Boy?
Who,
Excuse
me?
me.
Lots
Talon,
of-
you can write on my head if the bog gets too deep. It's fine.
And he will start leading you over towards Witherbloom, a path that you know well, Fen. And I think that's the point at which Lazarus comes out and says, "You are not going into the woods again, are you?"
We have to. I mean, I have to. You should come with us.
I will go with you to the bog.
This time it's assigned. I didn't choose it.
Ah,
But I say with like too much glee in my voice.
that seems reasonable. Let me quickly do something here.
So the bog is on campus grounds or something?
Yes, they will send you over to the bog.
Look, Talon, this is where I got the head of a
What was
owlbear.
that?
The skull of an owlbear from that cave right over there.
And Talon looks towards like genuine interest, and just establish. I don't know where we are in the geopositional of the narrative, but when the bog does get too much for Talon to be able to navigate, that's when he perches on Fenn's shoulder.
I've pulled up on Roll20 the map. It is a natural campus. There are built roads and things like that. There's a set of dark woods. That's the woods that Fenn is indicating, and that are sort of shadowed and off to the side. And they kind of take you past that and move you deeper on in until you reach this area that is surrounded by a great wall of thorns around on the outside. And they will send you in, and immediately, Fenn, you'll realize that this is an unhealthy patch of ground.
This is, I thought I was in the bog. This is not where I was. This is not as nice.
Yeah, you dislike it. It is clearly something happened here some time ago to kind of corrupt this ground slightly and make it miasmic and unpleasant.
Lazarus, do you know anything about this? Does this have anything to do with that afterworld that you visited?
The darkness is everywhere. It is not confined to one place. Everything around us is shadows. Hundreds of voices crying out, held, hidden away. There they are. I saw that, and then I came back.
Oh, okay. So not those shadows.
No, not the ones right here.
Okay.
Those are just shadows.
Got it.
And it is a big swampy bog with some walkways around it. And there is a shoreline. And essentially, you are assigned to spend the week doing cleanup, repairing bridges, clearing leaves, raking things. And I think after the first day, you'll realize that the bog itself kind of makes a mess. So it's almost like the work you've done the day before is set back a little bit each day. And there's no dry place for camping except on the bridges that are there. And they are like that kind of wet, rot wood. So what do we see of you during these first couple of days of detention, Fonzie?
I think Fonzie, he likes to get his hands dirty, but he doesn't like to get dirty.
Mm-hmm.
And his robes, like almost immediately, he's stepped in a puddle. Wasn't really wearing boots for the weather, and like his socks get just a little wet, and they're gonna be wet for a whole week.
Oh yeah.
So he's in a bit of a foul mood. He's trying to slack off as much of their work as they can by using an unseen servant to fill in, what works so that they can.
How long does an
minimal effort.
unseen servant last?
Like an hour.
Oh yeah.
And yeah, it burns out. And Fonzie debates using up additional spell slots to just cast it over and over again, and then realizes that would only last a few hours, and just gets to work but isn't happy about it.
And Talon, what is this like for you?
I think for for Talon, at first he tries to avoid getting as dirty and wet as possible. And of course that is a futile endeavor. So,
Yeah,
the first mud bog stain. I don't know what a bog is because we don't have that in this country, but
it is.
um,
It is. Imagine like a swamp.
we also don't have swamps.
Marshy areas of kind of wetlands of mud and land and water.
I'm just going to assume it's like a wet rice field, but with
That
no
seems
purpose.
reasonable.
And more dead sticks.
Yeah.
Yeah, more dead sticks. Yeah, yeah. The things at the end of the sticks do not bear grain. Yeah, right.
Mhm.
But yeah, so the moment when he gets dirty the first time, the second time, the third time, he just becomes frustrated and just gives up entirely on trying to stay clean, and surprisingly throws himself into it. And if this were just for a less serious situation, I think what would happen is you see Talon like already covered in bog throughout most of the working day. I mean, I assume he does get to clean off, but it's like once you're dirty, you might as well like go all in.
That does seem like a reasonable way to handle it. Yeah, and you will kind of lean into it. What about for you, Fen?
At first, it is depressing. It is dead. There is no nature here. And even in the end, that's disconcerting. However, what Fen realizes is this is not unlike the philosophical lifters' routines. And so he's kind of leans into the idea that there's a lot of physical labor that needs to be done. He kind of ramps up his daily activity to the final 2 hours of the day, at which time he'll enhance ability and become extra strong to lift bridges into place and do whatever else to really lean into the work. And at night, he'll quite happily sleep about half a body deep in the bog and wake up probably not as refreshed as he'd like to be, but comforted by the stagnant water.
The sweet embrace of mud
Yes,
is at least vaguely in
it
your
might be
wheelhouse.
dead mud, but it's still mud.
Yeah. Let me do this. So it is on the third evening, actually fourth evening, that you are there, that you are asleep. And I think that it is, let me get this on the table here. Hang on one second. Fen, why don't you roll, how do I put this? A nature roll for me. I'm going to give you. Oh, a 19.
That's pretty good.
Yeah. So I'm going to put, come on, get these things on the map. Come on. There we go. You are there, and you realize that there is something big moving here in the bog. And you will wake up. Can you? I forget? Can you see in the dark?
I don't know. It's not a feature that I made note of, so I'm going to say probably not.
You will. You've kind of all settled there on that main island, and you look up, kind of roll over, and you will see coming across this bridge is an owl bear, and it is moving in that sort of caught your scent, somehow made its way over the thorns, and it is sneaking up to murder all of you.
Psst. Fonzie, Talon. It's bad. It's bad. It's
What's bad?
really, really bad. There's an owl silhouette.
I'm just gonna establish that Owlin have superior dark vision, so
Okay.
So you see more than a silhouette.
That you will see there's an owl bear moving across this bridge towards you.
I think when Fen notifies us of that, like Talon immediately like tugs at Fen's sleeve or whatever and go and like repeats the same thing. It's like, it's bad.
It's bad. It's really bad.
So
You're muted.
Fonzie, your
Yeah,
reaction?
I look around to see if there are trees that can be climbed, knowing bogs.
No.
They're probably not really. And if
No.
there were, owl bears could probably stand up and reach to the top of one.
I think those trees would break under our weight is what would happen if we tried to climb them.
This is bad.
Could I have everybody roll initiative?
Yes. Initiative. What is initiative? It's a dexterity check, right?
Yeah.
Did mine go through?
Vince, you got
It
an
did.
11?
Yeah.
And I described that I used my enhance abilities, my level 2 spell slots, before lying down every day. So I'm going to assume that I don't have any level 2s.
I will let you have one of those back.
One of them? Okay.
Yeah. I think that seems fair. All right. So you have 2 NPCs with you. Here is the deal. Right now, they are safe, but you may make them not safe and get yourself a reroll. Once you've used a reroll, then they will not be safe from the owlbear.
And the squirrels did not come with us, right?
Squirrels did not come with you.
Dang. Well, I wouldn't want to endanger them anyway.
Yeah. Because then you'd have to go and get them all resurrected.
Right.
And actually, I think I got that wrong. Its Talon is a 6. And Fen is the 16. Fen, you're going to go first. Before this owlbear has a chance to act and kind of realize that you're awake and probably come charging at you. What do you want to do?
I am going to kind of want to enlarge up to 1 minute. That's like, yeah, I am going to just grow to owlbear sized, or maybe even bigger than owlbear sized, using, no, I want a tiny owlbear. I would like to reduce the size of the owlbear.
Okay. And does it get a saving throw against that?
I'm sure that it does. Up to 1. Yeah, we'll just have to take care of this in 1 minute, guys. If the target is unwilling, it can make a constitution. I think about it. I decide that really it shrinking is not going to be as advantageous as me growing. So I enlarge myself and get ready for the onslaught.
So you will become essentially as big as the owlbear. So I've
Right.
increased your size there. The owlbear will see that, see you get bigger, and it's clearly.
I'm going to roar out intimidatingly.
All right. If you will roar out intimidatingly, then I think it will come, move forward and attempt to peck you with its beak and hit you with its claws.
Great.
What is your armor class?
I just appreciate you saying intimidating as an adverb. With a lead hand there.
13.
13. Okay. So
Oh,
that
hits.
So you are going to take 10 points as this thing rushes forward and hits you with the beak.
Okay.
And will not hit you with the claws.
Thank goodness.
It seems to be like it's a little hesitant on the claw attack because it doesn't know what you can do. It's used to attacking smaller foes. So it takes that one swing, hits you, and kind of like takes an appraising swipe to kind of judge, and is clearly taking the measure of you.
Mm-hmm.
Fonzie, what do you want to do?
I say, Finn, Talon, how fast are these things?
They're fast. They're really fast.
Oh gosh. I try to get the NPCs who are with us and encourage them to run. So I guess that'd be D-Mao and
Yeah, they will not. D-Mao is like falls in behind you, but gets her like knife out, and the other one, Alantes, like he gets himself set and is preparing magic missile and whatnot, and he's like, I'm not leaving.
okay, I guess we're doing this. And I'm gonna cast Ray of Sickness. So first it's an attack roll.
AC is a 13.
Okay, so it hits. It's
Okay.
the 14 to hit. It has to make a Constitution saving throw of a 13.
13. All right, I will roll with the owlbear's Constitution bonus,
which I'm sure is high.
Oh, but not
Nice.
high enough. What does
Okay.
that do?
So it is poisoned.
Okay.
Until the end of my next turn.
Okay. So we haven't really hit those conditions yet. So I just want to
I
quickly
haven't
pull
either.
this up. See.
Disadvantage on attack rolls and ability checks.
Oh, okay.
Okay, and then it
That's
does
good.
some damage
That
to
is
it as
really
well.
good.
What is the damage that it does?
Let me see if.
Is that the 11 points at the bottom? Yeah, I think.
Oh
that
yeah,
is.
sorry, that was the what?
Oh, that second roll was nice. Too bad.
Yeah, well, no, that second one isn't anything. That was me messing stuff up. It's the 11 damage.
I know, but you rolled 2 20s
I
on that
know.
phantom
That
roll.
would have been
That's
great. Yeah.
That would have been nice.
So it's going to take 11 points, which is a pretty hefty, and it is on disadvantage on those rolls and debility checks until the next round. So that is pretty serious.
Question. Let's see. Lazarus is my familiar, right?
Yes, he is. You've assigned him as such.
Also would like to shout out Lazarus attack. So whenever it's appropriate, let's have Lazarus enter the fray.
All right, we'll have him go on your action on the next round.
Yep.
Talon, what are you doing?
I just wanted to ask what kind of work were you doing specifically in the bog first?
They were cleaning stuff, rebuilding bridges, that kind of thing. Probably have shovels, tools.
Yeah, so
You have your own equipment too, whatever you normally would have.
I think Talon will take will grab a shovel,
Okay.
and then hold back and cast catapult.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. That is flies. Let's see. Flies its straight line up to 90 feet in a direction you choose before falling to the ground. If the object would strike a creature, that creature must make a dexterity saving throw.
Okay.
So,
and what does it need to save against?
it must roll a save. It's a dexterity saving throw, but I don't know what it's supposed to save against.
It's
Oh,
whatever.
it's in your spell DC.
Yeah.
Oh, my spell DC. Sorry, it's a spell save DC of 13.
Okay. So.
And do you have disadvantage on? I know it was strength. Did it include dexterity as well for that poison?
Attack rolls and ability checks of all
Yeah,
And
so it's
kinds.
all-
ability checks.
yeah.
Okay.
So I'm going to make 2 checks with dexterity versus this 13.
There's a spell attack bonus. Is that the same thing?
No, that's just the DC check here. Is
Alright,
what
alright.
what they had to make the save against here.
Got it.
So oh well, this is with the first one. So they are knocked down. I assume that's what that does. What does it say?
Yeah. It says that when they get struck, both objects take 3d8 bludgeoning damage.
And roll 3d8.
All right. And I will burn. No, you know what? I will first roll the 3d8.
Okay.
Roll 3d8. That is a 1, an 8, and a 3.
Okay.
I will spend 1 sorcery point to roll one of those d8s,
Okay.
which is the 1. So roll 1d8. So we're looking at a 7, an 8, and a 3.
So 18 points of damage. So that is a significant hit.
All right.
So we'll take that down to a 30. That will slam into it. The shovel that you had just absolutely shatters as it hits it and knocks it back on its haunches. Fen, you and Lazarus go.
So I am going to cast Chill Touch, and I create a ghostly skeletal hand that makes a ranged spell attack against this owlbear. And so that means that I roll my. I think I can just click on this and it rolls it. Yeah. Well, that's not great.
So that will miss.
Okay. And yeah, I shout out Lazarus attack. Lazarus is a frog.
Okay.
I do not have a stat block on a frog. I could look one up.
Yeah, it's a regular frog. Let me see. I'd have to check my little monster listing here. Let me see if they have the stats for the base level frogs in the Strixhaven book from before they were transmuted. They may not.
I did find a stat block for a frog. It's not great.
I can't imagine that it would be.
But just the idea of Lazarus jumping out on this owlbear is entertaining to me. Standing leap. The frog's long jump is up to 10 feet, and his high jump is up to 5. And the owlbear is prone.
Yep.
So I'd imagine he could do a standing leap and then maybe just attack it with strength or dex. Question mark.
Let's have you roll a d20. Let's kind of see, here, AC of 13.
Not great.
I don't think that's going to hit.
Yeah.
I think Lazarus is on him
Mm-hmm.
and is saying, I shall take you to the other side. You will see what lies beyond this world.
It's kind of like a bull ride, right?
Yeah.
Like,
And the owlbear will stand up and now seems very angry. And it is going to had to stand. So it's not going to be able to like move to try and swipe at anybody else along with you. It's just going to take its 2 swipes at you. Your AC is
13.
13.
I
Don't
think.
forget it's
Let
still
me-
a
let me double
disadvantage.
Yes.
Nope, sorry, 10.
Ooh.
Well, I rolled a natural 20 and a 9. So it's a very good thing that it's at disadvantage, isn't it? Because it would
Yes.
have critted on that one. And then it will swing its claws.
Can it do that when it when it has to stand up?
Multi-attack makes 2 attacks.
Oh, okay. That's just
Yeah.
a special multi-attack. Got it.
Yeah. Let's do this. Oh, look at that. Holy moly. This is
What are
the
we looking at?
counterpart to those 2 20s. It rolled 2 1s.
Oh,
Ooh.
So like it gets up and it swings at you and it swings wild, Fen. And for a moment you think we could actually win.
yeah. I think it's doing windmills, if that sounds good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fonzie.
Okay. Well, that's just opened up an opportunity for a vicious mockery.
Yes.
And Fonzie just kind of like watches that and is like, what the hell is that? You're an embarrassment to owlbear kind. You fight like an owl and not like a bear. What's wrong with you? And that's how he casts vicious mockery. This works on creatures even if they don't understand the language.
Okay.
So it needs to make a wisdom saving throw, which is still at disadvantage
Right.
for DC is 13.
Like an owl, excuse me.
So it will fail.
It's actually an area effect because Talon's an owl.
Okay.
So what's the effect?
It's 2 points of psychic damage, and it takes disadvantage on its next attack roll.
Okay, well that's nice. So it will go down to that. And it's Talon again.
Sorry, I'm just reeling from that one.
Now's your chance. I'll show you fight like an owl.
Yeah. Talon casts magic missile.
Okay.
Let's see. What does magic missile involve?
I think if you click on the spell on your sheet, it should activate it and do the roll on it.
Ah.
There you
That
go.
is a. Oh, okay, 2. All right.
You will fire that off. It will hit it.
But don't you get like 3 magic missiles when you cast magic missile?
That's right. So that's 2, 2, 2, 6, I guess.
So hit it 2 more times.
Oh, I roll for each die separately. Got it. And there we go. So that's
Look at that. So that's actually 11 points of damage there.
Holy snaps.
You will light it up. What does your magic missile look like?
I think they all look like sharp quills, like feather quills.
Fire out will hit into this owlbear. It will cry out. So it kind of leans back. Fen. Go back to you.
I have some sort of a weapon, I'm sure. I think I'm just going to stab or smash this thing. I just need to figure out what my weapon is.
Okay.
Spear. I'm going to take my 2-handed spear, which enlarged with me, and stab it. And miss.
That will miss. Roll again for Lazarus.
Oh my goodness. Go
So,
Lazarus, go.
I think that Lazarus will do a full 2 points as
Nice.
Lazarus leaps up and like scratches its eyeball.
Very nice.
And I think there's a roar. It's already angry and humiliated, but now it's got to deal with this frog that's on its face. But it is going to lean in. It's going to move, and it's going to take a. Let's see. It will take a beak peck at you, Fen. With disadvantage on this roll.
Mm-hmm.
But will hit.
Okay.
So it's going to do 10 points.
It is time for me to heal myself a little bit.
And what is your AC, Fonzie?
It's not great. It's a 13.
13, but he has disadvantage.
I'll be honest, I think it's just for the first attack.
He will. Just for the first attack?
Yeah, because
because it's next attack.
yeah.
So he will hit you for 20 points.
Oh my gosh, I fall down.
Just slash with his big owlbear claws. Where does it catch you?
I think it's like full across the chest, and I go flying into the bog.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It is your action, Fonzie. Are you out?
Yeah, so
Okay.
it's death save.
I believe so.
Okay. Oh, failed the first one.
Failed the first one. Talon, you see that? You see Fonzie get knocked back.
Oh, how bad does it look?
Well, he's face down in the mud.
Oh my God. Mechanically, is that something I should be worried about?
What do you think, Fonzie?
Blub, 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 blub.
I don't think you've ever had to deal with something as quite as nasty as this. The question is, Talon, is it more important to drop this owlbear or to try and go save Fonzie?
Drop the owlbear. You can deal with him in a minute.
Yeah, I can fail
that-
another death save before it's a problem.
Yeah, I think that's also what Mortimer would say, but I haven't heard
Yeah,
from
he
him
says,
in a while.
just leave it be. If he dies, I'll just stick around with you. You should probably take care of the owlbear, though.
Yeah, like sorry, Talon is preparing his attack and already, and as Mortimer does say that, he just kind of like looks to the side where there would be someone whispering to him with disapproval, and I guess fires off a
Do you have another magic missile? Or
a magic missile would be good. Maybe I'll just burn
because it auto hits.
Yeah, sorcery point.
Yeah.
All right. Let me just make sure that sorcery point is spent.
Okay.
And we cast another magic missile. So
Gonna hit it 3 times.
Yep. Just there we go. 1, 2, 3.
12 points. This owlbear is rocked. It is staggered. It is on its very last legs. You can see it kind of reel back. Fen.
If it makes sense in the narrative combat, like sort of like as he's doing that, he's sort of like backing away towards Fonzie.
I think Fen has just been stabbing. So this is another two-handed spear attack.
Okay.
Come on, hit something once. That would be really nice.
Oh, yeah. So
that is a 19, so not quite a crit. Oh, and I get an extra D4 because I'm enlarged.
That's right.
So that's 9.
Oh, so that's a hell of a hit.
That is quite the hit for a spear.
What does that look like? Like, what do we see happen as you drop this owlbear?
I think, yeah, I drive it through its heart and keep going and pin it into the ground. And it like is struggling a little bit before it gives up. And it's like, Talon, help Fonzie now.
Fonzie, why don't you make another death save here just for the...
Okay.
Yeah.
Ooh, oh,
Oh, that's 2 fails right there.
yeah.
That's not great. Now, I believe that Talon can act to bring you around.
I mean, technically, no.
And technically, I have this spell, Gentle Repose, which will preserve a dead body.
Right.
Let me see
Rolling a 1 or
something.
20 on 197. Would you
Someone
like
bring up-
to spend the reroll from one of the NPCs?
Oh, yeah. I think it has to happen here.
Okay. Just don't roll another 1.
Okay, that's
Okay.
success.
All right. So I imagine that Talon, you get over there, you can pull him out of the mud, you can get him cleaned up, and between the two of you, you can kind of get him stabilized. And I think within another couple of minutes, you will hear shouting and people coming running because they've heard the sound of the owlbear inside the school grounds, and guards will open up the gates and come in. They will see Fenn standing over the body of this owlbear.
I have reduced down to my normal giant size at this point, and like there's this gaping hole in the chest, but like my spear also reduced down to normal size.
I think they see that. They see the frog drinking the sweet ichor from the eyes of this owlbear in its death triumph. And they will come and they will pick up Fonzie, and they will ask for all of you to follow them, and they will take you to the infirmary here, and will treat your wounds and will get you the first hot bath and shower that you've had in about 5 days, and get you washed up. And as you're kind of recovering from that, you will see, I'm trying to get his name here, the head of Witherbloom. Let me get his name real quick.
We just had Fenn step away. I think Fenn's gonna want to hear
Oh yeah,
what the head of
so
Witherbloom
we'll
has to
hold
say.
off on that.
You were just sent out there to die,
Yes.
effectively speaking. I mean, I don't object to the punishment, but you think they have disciplinary areas secured from owlbears?
You would think that, wouldn't you? That's really interesting that you point that out. Interesting. Okay.
By the way, I'm actually narrowing my eyes. I'm not. This isn't my default
Okay.
Asian face.
I will wait till actually let's take a 5-minute break and then we'll kind of bring that in and we'll kind of wrap up the session. Does that sound good? So
Yep.
we'll take
Yeah.
5.
All right.
So you're there in the Witherbloom Infirmary, cleaned up. Fenn and Fonzie both very badly injured, but healed up. Talon, you were fine, just wet and exhausted and fatigued and mud covered, and they will get you cleaned. And at a certain point, you will see one of the deans of Witherbloom will come down, and I will share what she looks like with you. And that is Dean Lissette. She is the Dean of the Root. She is sort of where one side of Witherbloom is about decay and that sort of changing. She is the Dean of the side of like growth and healing and so on. And she comes over and she will check each of your wounds, make sure they're clean, so on. And she will say, did you see or hear anything unusual before you saw the owlbear?
I mean, I think I was the first one who saw it, and I just saw its silhouette.
It's very strange. It should not have been able to make it through the perimeter.
Oh, really?
And certainly not without alerting wards.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
I
Yes,
know
that's,
that. Pardon?
I was just gonna say that's what I was, wondering.
I know that you still have 2 more days of detention to serve,
Not the bog.
but I think that you have done your time, and I will send you back to your dorm with a note for the headmaster if there are any questions to be had.
Thank you, Professor.
Did very well in taking on such a creature.
Thanks.
And she'll kind of pause and she says, well, I will hopefully speak with each of you again. And she will head out. And you can tell from the reaction of the people in the infirmary that this is kind of a big deal that she came down here.
Mm-hmm. What does she mean? Like Talon wonders out loud, like, the owlbear broke the wars. So this is, I mean, it's of course it's unusual. I just don't know why they should be so blasé about
This is, I think this is a return stunt for our transgression. The other house must have opened up the. That's a lot of work for.
It's giving
No,
them
no,
a
that
lot of
makes
credit.
sense. We
That is-
probably should get even.
Probably should.
Yeah.
You're right.
Wait, Fan. You're saying that we were set up by another dorm or another house? I don't. That seems a little
You
bit
don't
convoluted,
think
though.
this is revenge for our stunt?
I think Talon plainly says that. He could be wrong here, but this was Talon saying. Talon saying that he really believes that the simplest explanation, or at least probably makes the most sense, which is that that the wards truly have been broken, or gone around, as Lisette suggested, and wherever the owlbear came from, wherever such creatures came from, was wasn't supposed to be warded against.
Well, maybe we should check it out. Maybe we should see, because I mean, whatever did this had our ill intent at heart. Maybe we should check those wards, check the path, see what it was doing, see how it got in.
Yeah, or yes, or something else is, or something else is it's conspiring against the school that that doesn't really involve us. That it's just coincidence.
Do you think it's
And
coincidence?
I think at this point, Talon is like wondering about these things out loud, sort of stream of consciousness, and wondering like what Mortimer has to say.
Did Talon have Uncle Mortimer in the bog with him, or had he left?
Absolutely, absolutely. He's packing Mortimer with him wherever he goes. Because
Okay,
yeah,
so I think Fonzie is operating with the theory, though he hasn't said it to the other two, that this was a targeted hit on Uncle Mortimer.
Mm, we don't know that.
We don't.
I also
Mhm.
like the idea that Fonzie is deliberately not speculating out loud in the presence of Mortimer.
Yeah.
I think that if you like, before you take off the next day, you can head to the bog and kind of do a circle around to look for signs, things like that. And I think as you're walking along, there's a very loud croaking that the two of you will hear. And Fen, you will hear Lazarus go, "Oh, no, 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 no.
What are those frogs?
No, 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 that's me."
Oh,
Because they can't understand him. They're just hearing Lazarus croaking madly on your shoulder at this point. And Lazarus says, it's yeah, I can smell it.
what do you
The-
smell?
The some of that, the shadow, the blackness
Oh,
that touched me before. When it
so Lazarus is saying that, how much? Okay. Let's just, let's just
Sounds is making a
say,
face with the animated
Huh?
croaking is all.
Talons?
let's just say that Lazarus has seen many things, and he knows that a very dark shadow is here.
Lazarus says, this is the thing that touched me and made me different before.
Oh, wow. It's what turned him from a frog into a monster frog. Let's go check it out.
And I think if you walk around this area, that's all that Lazarus picks up. Like, he can tell the smell is there, that something with that energy is here. And you kind of look and you see the footprints of the owlbear around here. And clearly, whatever did that to the frogs, whatever force did that, broke these wards or held them apart temporarily and let that owlbear in after all of you.
Yeah, I think Talon was actively like trying to sense, like, I guess, the smell, or or understand what arcane,
Yeah,
like.
let's have you make an Arcana roll so that if you smell it again or detect it again, you can pick it up.
Mhm. All right, making that Arcana roll. It's 10.
It's not bad. It's so dissipated by this point that it's very hard to pick up.
I would like to detect magic.
I think you will pick up that same weird absence that you did when you did that check with detect magic after the frogs had gone. Like the spell had been there and had been active but was gone now.
I'll have to actually detect magic like when it's happening next time instead of the next day. There's nothing to be detected here.
But all of you can head back to the main campus and return back for the next round of classes, since you lost your mid-semester break to the detention bog.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's just we're gonna. Oh yes.
Is the item that I acquired, the fountain or whatever, still in our front yard, or was it reclaimed?
I think that they had so many other things to worry about in terms of cleanup and such that the water object is still there.
Perfect.
I think that's where we're going to stop for today. We will take up next time with a couple of mysteries in the wind. I would like to do just a quick stars and wishes, if you don't mind. Vince, can I start with you?
Sure thing. I had a lot of fun. I loved Fen taking ownership of our big combat. It was exciting seeing you go toe to toe with an owlbear.
Despite my AC of 10, right? It's
Yeah.
like, no, I gotta be the big
Without
one
that
here.
disadvantage, like that disadvantage
Oh
was
man.
huge.
Yeah.
And Matthew, I loved Talon's prank and how well it kind of blended with everything else that was going on just to establish absolute chaos in that situation.
Yep.
Any wishes for next time, Vince?
I have been satisfied with the route that we have taken. Like, I think the
Okay.
big wishes that I had have gotten fulfilled in spades. So I think just like keeping this energy of playing D&D without quests
Okay.
is a lot of fun, where we just get to kind of explore this setting with these characters. And I'm sad that we just have a couple sessions left.
Matthew.
Yeah. I'm gonna go with wishes first before I move to stars
Sure.
because I'm a reverse weirdo like that. But I like Vincent. I'm very happy and satisfied with where we've gone so far, and I think what I really want to see is more of like I really enjoyed pushing against Fonzie, sort of like allowing him to be the character that he is while also giving him real stakes and tension and drama. I thought that's fun. And the other wish I have is I really hope I can pay off I hope we can pay off what's going on with Mortimer. I'm not sure that's
Okay.
going to be a guarantee with only 2 more sessions left,
Right.
but I think I think with your help and with everybody else's help, Talon has become one of my favorite characters to play in a while, and very different from when I've gone to play. So, thank you for enabling that. And I also want to give another star to Nicholas for all that he's done with Fen, the weirdness and the oddness of the character, apart from everyone else's, I think what makes him really stand out. And I'm very happy to have that in the game. So yeah, those are my that's my weird stars and wishes and stars mix.
Sure. Awesome. And Nicholas?
I think my favorite part of gaming this evening was the attack on the rival house. And so that is a thank you to Vincent and to Matthew for making that happen and making it as dramatic as it ended out. I loved the moment that Fonzie needed to use the facilities like 2 seconds after they were sabotaged. That was the capstone. You couldn't top that.
Lovely how it's so unplanned too.
Yes.
Yes. And provided the perfect distraction.
It all sequenced out really well. I was very
It
happy
did.
with that.
Thank you, Lowell, for rolling with that and making what is probably a challenging thing for most D&D GMs to handle just manifest. So that scene, thank you, everyone. As far as wishes, I will put this at a lower tier wish than Mortimer and the mystery of the disappearing second years. But I would love to see that house rivalry just cranked up to 11, whatever that
Okay.
looks like.
House rivalry. All right. Awesome. Thank you all so much. I had a good time. I like a good fight with some serious stakes. Like that was a bit nasty. So I dug that quite a bit. I'm going to stop the recording.